Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. My name is Don Daniel, and we are here, okay, let me get rid of this. All right, and there we are. There it is. Okay, folks, we are getting ready to talk about today the big lie that you were never supposed to be debt free. And we were lied to when we were told that debt is the way of the world. Listen, you're supposed to be wealthy. And we're going to be talking about that today. Let me take this off right now. Okay. We're going to be talking about that today. And we're going to tell you the truth about wealth and where it comes from, the wealth mindset and how it's supposed to happen. And the way that it's set up now is that you were supposed to be in debt forever because that is somebody else's idea of how to obtain wealth. Your poverty is their wealth, but the reverse of that is not what you need. There is more wealth than you could ever imagine. There's more wealth to go around. You don't need to take away from someone for you to have. Oh my goodness. We're going to learn some stuff today. So if you are ready to understand debt and borrowing money the right way, if you are ready to learn how to turn your debt into wealth, if you are ready to understand what wealth is really all about, and it's not about more money, it's about something completely different than you ever thought before, well, today is your day. Today is the day for this particular show. You want to stay tuned. You ready to go? Let's go. Hello, everybody. My name is Don Daniel, founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And today we're going to be talking about how to turn your debt into wealth. Listen, we're going to break this thing all the way down. You were never, according to some, they would have you to believe that you're never supposed to be out of debt. Never. Because it actually makes them wealthy the way debt is presented to us today. Oh, we don't know that we're supposed to be, all of us, we're supposed to be turning debt into wealth. Did you know that? Listen, I need you to think about banks and how they do it. Banks are the biggest borrowers in town. Okay, they're the biggest borrowers in town. So if they're the biggest borrowers in town, how are they turning debt into wealth? Because if you put your money in the bank, don't you realize that the bank now owes you? They borrowed their money, they borrowed our money, and then that means that they owe you. But somehow they turn debt into wealth. Why can't we do the same? All we need is the same mindset. So we need to understand what this thing is all about. So I'm going to put this back on the screen again, and we're going to study this picture. You need to study the picture that I'm putting up on YouTube and Facebook right now. And I need you to take a look at this, and we're going to break this picture down. So right now, the pill, you see, the wealthy people are on the one side, and they're telling us lies so that we can continue to give them our wealth. And we have all of us on the other side trying to get to the wealth. Now, the way that this thing is pictured, the way that we are taught to understand it is this way. For us to be wealthy, we need to take from the wealthy and have it transferred over to us. That is completely the wrong idea. You are a unique individual. You are supposed to find out how you can attract wealth into your life. There's more. Listen, we live in a world of abundance. And you do not have to take from others for you to be wealthy. That's their system. That's somebody else's system. The whole lending and borrowing, the way that it's taught today, is somebody's idea of how can I get wealth to flow to me easily? And the way they do it is to teach lies about lending. Well, once we know the truth about lending, okay, we can do better. All right. So I see Sharon Brooks. Oh, look at there, Sharon. I see you out there on Facebook. Knowledge is power. Listen, we need to understand that our wealth is in our ability to learn what is unique about us and how the knowledge that we can obtain can access the wealth that is supposed to be yours. You don't need to take from others. You don't have to set up a system that's scamming others. You don't need to do something that takes away from others. What you need is a way to create wealth by finding out what you can give. Uh-oh. What? What is it about you? What do you have that's uniquely yours? That when you offer it to the world, wealth is drawn to you because you are creating something of value. When you create something of value, you're not taking away from the world, ladies and gentlemen, you are adding to the world when you create something of value. Think of this. Somebody has an idea in their head and they use it to create a picture. What have they taken away from the world? When they create that picture, when they put it on that paper, when they put it on that canvas, they've taken something from inside them and created something of beauty, something of value. And somebody is going to say, I value this. I'm going to pay for it. You're not taking away from them. You are giving to them. When you give to them your value, they give back to you something of value. They give to you money. So wealth is not about money. Wealth is about how you create value. Oh my goodness. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So let me show you something here. Now, how do we turn our debt into something of value? Because banks have done it. Banks have taken debt and turned it into something of value that we are willing to give our money for it. And even though it's misunderstood, we still do it. Okay? We still do it. Let me show you some things here. If you want to see this, please go to YouTube right now. Click the link at the top of the page. Ken, how are you doing this morning, man?
I'm good. I'm good. And you, Don?
Oh, listen, man, I'm glad that you're here today. You you definitely want to be here. And listen, encourage these folks in the audience here on Clubhouse to come up to the stage and participate in this discussion. Because the more we talk about it, the more we can get out of it. But in the meantime, I'm going to put something on the screen. Okay. I need you all to see this. Let me take this off so we can see it just a little bit better. Okay, we're going to take this off. There we go. All right. Now take a look at this. This is one of our clients. Okay. They are $161,000 in debt. They were supposed to be in debt for another 28 years. But let's scroll down to the good part. Do you see where it says down here, wealth accumulation? $611,000. How do we take that debt that they have and in a few short years turn it into $611,000? Because we showed them how to get something of value. And that value is the property that they used debt to get. You can use debt to get your property, but how do you turn that debt into wealth? Well, here's what we're talking about. They are supposed to pay an additional $161,000 in interest to get that, to acquire the property. $161,000 in interest on a $237,000 loan. Well, that's what we're taught, but you don't have to do it that way. We can show them how to pay. I see this arrow here, $63,000 instead, almost $100,000 in savings. That's $98,000 less. When you are buying a house, when you are buying a car, when you are buying your education with debt, then the interest on the debt, the way that banks have constructed it, is just a suggestion. You don't have to do it that way. What if you could buy the house, buy the car, buy the education, buy whatever it is you want to buy, and look at it differently so that you can pay less to have more? Before I show you any more of this, I'm going to show you something else here, how you need to look at debt, especially when it comes to mortgages. Okay. Can I show you something here? So I'm going to put Mr. Brett Whistle back on the stage here. All right. And I use Brett Whistle a lot. All right. As a way of understanding how debt works. Okay. So right now, interest rates are rising. Interest rates are rising again. The median home price in this country is $420,000. Okay. $420,000 for the median home price. And I'm going to put it in here at 7%. Okay. Because that's the interest rate. And everybody hates, this high interest rate. But what I'm trying to tell you, that the interest rate is not what we're supposed to be looking at. Okay. Now, here is how you need to look at this debt. Here's how it's presented. $420,000 worth of, you said, I want to borrow $420,000. But the way that the interest is constructed, you're supposed to pay $585,000 in interest on that, almost $586,000. So in other words, the total purchase price of this house is $1,005,937. That is the purchase price. when you borrow money and the way that the contract is designed, those who loaned you the money want you to pay for your $400,000 house. They want you to pay $1 million for it. So let me ask you right now, do you want to pay $1 million for your $400,000 house? Because that's the way you should be looking at it. That's the way we've all been taught, but you don't have to do it that way. What if you could pay 2/3 less, get it at 75% off? Now, once you negotiate the price for the house, okay, and you put it in the contract, there's nothing you can do about that. But this interest, did you know you are in complete control of that thing? You are in control of how much interest you pay. You can pay 75 to 80% less interest. And if you could do that, aren't you buying the same asset for a lot less? So let me put something else on the screen here. And just, man, listen, I love this. I love this subject. Okay. I love this subject because we all need to understand it. Okay. This is how banks do what they do. They borrow money. They borrow it from us. They could pay us a lot more for it but we don't demand more. Okay. So what they're paying us to build wealth, they're building tremendous wealth off of borrowing money from us. Okay. How can I see as well as listen? Do you have a computer or a tablet like an iPad or a different phone? What you can do is go to YouTube on your tablet, on your computer, pull it up. All right. And then search for P.I.L.L method, but turn the volume down on your computer or tablet. All right. Hello, Rosalind. Rosalind, how are you doing? How are you doing? All right. So that's how you can do that. All right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay. All right. So do that so you can see these numbers, because here's what I also need to tell you right now. People are coming in here week after week after week. And I'm giving you the game. I'm telling you what you need. What you need is to take your debt and turn it into wealth. So today, you need to get a savings and earnings report. You need to go to ice10k.com, ICE, the number 10, the letter K.com, and get a free savings and earnings report so that you can see how you can purchase everything that you have for a lot less. So let's take this 585,000, okay? 937,000. Oh, let's even put the 20 cents in there because the bank wants the 20 cents. Okay. And we want to reduce that. We're going to take away 75%. Okay. 75%. Okay. Now you could pay, instead of the 585,000, you could pay like $145,000. Okay. You could pay $145,000 to borrow the money. So if you take 145,000 from what they wanted, so we're going to subtract that from, let's see, 585, okay, 937, yeah, and 20 cents. There we go. $439,000 off. $440,000 off. When you buy your house this way, okay, you could literally get it for $440,000 less. And that is the starting point. That's the starting point, ladies and gentlemen. It could be better than that. You can borrow money much more cheaply than that. We're showing you how to turn your debt into wealth. Now, if you were supposed to pay $1 million for this house, okay, but you paid $560,000 for it instead of $1 million for it, then you could take the $400,000 you didn't have to pay. Could you invest that for yourself? That's what banks are doing. The money that they should rightly pay. I'm not saying legally pay. I'm saying rightly pay. When you use something of somebody else's, you should give them fair value for what they're giving you. But because we don't know the rules to the game, they don't have to give us fair value for our money. They don't have to. Why? Because we have accepted receiving less than fair value. We're okay with it. We don't think that there's anything else. And here's what I want to tell you today. I'm not mad at the bank. Why is it? Because they've come up with a system that works. They have created a system where we believe we are getting value. And we're giving our money for that value, but we're giving way too much money for the value they're offering. They're telling you, the whole world is telling you that it takes 30 years to pay off a mortgage, when in fact, it only takes about 7. Yep. If you want to pay off all of your debt in about 7, we're going to show you how you can take this information here and turn it into inside out, where you can pay off everything that you have in 7 to 9 years on average, and then take the money that you are supposed to pay in interest that somebody else says you're supposed to pay and turn it into wealth. That's what I need you to see today. So let's go back. Let's go back to understanding this part. Okay. Now let's take a look at another one. This is JP. All right. Who had, how much debt did they have? $631,000 worth of debt when we met them. And they had 27 years left on their contracts to pay on that debt. Now, were they working? Yes. Did they make good money? Yes. Were they struggling? No, they were not struggling. But they had fallen into the lie. They believed the lie that this is the way it's supposed to be done. But here's the way it's really supposed to be done. Take the $631,000 that they owe and pay it off in less time. In this case, it was about 13 years instead of 27 years. Take the money that they were supposed to pay in interest, all right, $274,000, and turn it into $130,000, and then take the $143,000 they were supposed to pay in interest, and then turn it into another $840,000. Take your debt and turn it into wealth. Now, Don, I thought you said that the average person gets out of debt in 7 to 9 years on your program. This one is taking 13.6. That's the route they chose. Yeah. Once they knew the truth, they can choose whatever route they want to buy the house, pay off the debt, but live the life they want to live. You see, if you go on 3 or 4 or 5 vacations a year, and that's the way you want to live your life, you want to see the world and pay off your debt, well, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get out of debt, but that's okay if that's what you want. But you're choosing to do that once you know the facts of the matter. You know the truth. Can I get some more people on stage? Can I get some people to comment on YouTube or Facebook, or comment in Clubhouse or come to the stage on Clubhouse and ask some questions about this whole thing. So $840,000, they can create wealth out of the debt that they have and still own the house. $840,000 and the house. $840,000 and their retirement. $840,000 and having living the life of their dreams. Stop taking your wealth and turning it over to someone else. Bam, how are you doing today, my brother? Listen, Bam talks about the same thing. Wealth is a mindset, ladies and gentlemen, and there's plenty of wealth to go around. Let me put this picture back on the screen. I'm going to put this picture back on the screen because this whole picture that I have here is a lie. The whole picture is a lie. And here's the picture. Lies are being told to us, and there are wealthy people in the world. But the way that the world is teaching us about wealth, those of us that don't have the wealth, we believe we have to take it from someone else for us to be wealthy. The wealthy have to become poorer so that we can become richer. Lord have mercy. Boy, oh boy. Listen, we need to get rid of that idea. Okay, somebody else wants to come. Six wants to come to the stage and talk about it today. Six, how are you doing?
I'm all right.
What brought you to the stage today?
Well, I know I was trying to reach out to both of y'all because I do need some help, you know.
Listen, we are here to help. Okay, do you want to talk about it now, or do you want to talk about it here, or do you want to talk about it in private?
Whichever way. I think I got you already. I've been trying to reach out, so I got you now.
All right, well, talk to me now. Talk to me now, then.
So I'm trying to buy a house.
Okay.
I got student loans. The student loans is 180.
Yeah.
185, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got about like I want to say maybe 30, maybe 15,000 and credit card debt.
Okay.
So that's what's making me hesitate on buying a house because I really don't want the average house. I just want a small, like a tiny house type thing.
Right.
Just so but anyway, I'm just trying to figure out how I can do all that.
Okay, first of all, you're looking at what you need. You think you need a small house because of your debt. Is that what you think?
Well, not just because of that, just cost effective, bills like utility bills, all that stuff.
All of that. Okay. So what is it that you want? Let's not talk about what you need. Let's talk about what you want. What do you want?
What I really want, I want to own rental houses.
Oh my goodness. You want to rental houses. And why do you want rental houses?
Oh, just for the income.
Okay, you want income. All right, you want passive income. I'm hearing what you want, okay? I'm not hearing what you need or what you believe you should have. I'm hearing what you want. You want rental houses. You want passive income. What else do you want?
My primary residence to be on a nice, maybe 4 acres. 2 to 4 acres.
2 to 4 acres. Oh my guys, I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hearing what she wants. Okay, you want a house, your own house on 2 to 4 acres. I'm hearing what you want. What else do you want?
That's it.
Okay, so now, Bam says we should go to Ecclesiastes 11:2. All right, invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. See, listen, there is information that we have. You are a unique individual. 6, there's nobody else in the world like you. Nobody. And guess what? There will be nobody after you that's exactly like you ever. Ever, ever, ever. You are a unique individual with unique gifts and unique ideas. You were created to offer something to the world of value. You just need to know what that value is. And the first thing you need to offer, as far as value is concerned, is the right idea towards your money. Okay? You owe $180,000 in student loans. Are you paying on those student loans right now?
No.
Then they're not an issue. Okay? It's not an issue right now because you're not paying on them. Are you paying on your credit cards right now?
Yes.
Okay. There is a way to pay off the credit card debt so that it will cost you less interest. It's the interest, it is the idea of the debt that has you paralyzed. Okay. Are you working right now?
Yes.
You are working. All right. Can you pay all of your bills right now with your income? If you just pay the minimums on everything, can you pay all of your bills with your income?
Yes.
There you go. Oh my gosh. Listen, you are so far ahead of the game. Okay. But tell me, in reference to the amount of debt and the other bills that you have, tell me, do you think your income is adequate to give you everything you want? Tell me what you really believe.
Mm, no, because
Okay.
I
Go.
still want to travel and
Yes.
I want to do luxury things. So,
Okay. You still want to travel. Okay. So, but right now you believe that your income isn't enough to do that.
correct.
That's a mindset. What if your current income was enough to pay off all of your debt in a short period of time if you just knew how the mechanics of debt really worked?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm buying in. What's up?
Okay. You said, what's up? Okay.
Oh, I'm from Detroit. That's just how we talk.
I know. Listen, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So, what we want you to understand, 6, is this: the way that debt has been constructed is for you to give too much of your money away that goes up in smoke in the form of interest. You don't have to do it that way. What if you could pay less interest out of the money that you already have? Would more of your money pay down the debt?
Yeah.
Okay. If more of your money paid down the debt, and then the interest that you were supposed to pay, what if we could keep track of the interest you were supposed to pay and did not pay? Could you then invest that money into something else?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You mean like rental properties?
You mean everything I need to do?
Listen, listen, there's more to it than that, but right now there's something that is crucial that's keeping you from everything you need to do. Right now you think you don't have enough money.
Right.
Okay?
Correct.
Right now you think in terms of lack and not of abundance.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you right now, your abundance is out there waiting for you if you stop talking about what you need and then start talking about what you want. The Bible says that God will give you the desires of your heart. Do you believe that?
Yep, I do.
Okay. But listen, if we desire, okay, if we desire, what you think about is what you bring about. Okay. I'm desiring, here's what I'm thinking about. I don't have enough. I wish I had more. I don't live in in an atmosphere of abundance. What I think about is what I bring about. What I'm desiring is what I'm thinking about. So if I learn how to think differently, I can have and do differently. First of all, we need to find out how money works. Once you get one idea under your belt, once you learn the truth about one thing, did you know that other truths start to present themselves? We use money. We use money more than practically anything else in the world. And we don't have a good understanding about it. Let's get a good understanding about it. Hey, here's what I want you to do. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to my website, ICE, ICE. Are you writing this down? 6? Hello, 6. If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm typing it in the phone.
Good. ICE, ICE, the number 10, the letter K.com. Do you have a computer?
Yes.
Good. So go to ice10k.com, and then there's a button there that says Get a Savings and Earnings Report. How badly do you want this to? Because listen, I wrote some things down. All right. You want to pay off your debt. You want to have rental income. You want a house on 2 to 4 acres, and you want to travel. How badly do you want these things?
Oh, I got it.
Okay. So can you get these things doing what you're currently doing?
I don't know. That was the problem.
Okay. So let me ask it this way. Is what you're currently doing bringing you what you want?
No, not currently.
All right, not currently. So what you're doing is not doing it's not doing it for you. So does that mean you have to do something different?
Correct.
Are you willing to do something different?
Yes.
Not everybody's willing to do that, you know.
Yes.
Okay. Once they find out what they really have to do to get what they really want, do you know that many people start to find comfort in not changing? Because you're going to have to change how you think and what you do and who you are to get what you want. Because how you think, what you do, and who you are is getting you what you have right now.
Yep.
Okay. And you want something different. So that means you are going to have to do some changing.
Yes.
So the first change you need to do is go to ice10k.com, click on Get a Savings and Earnings Report, and find out, because it's free, find out the month, day, and year you could be debt free and start learning how money works. Because we can coach you as to how money actually works. And once you know that bit of truth there, more truth will be revealed to you because you're going to see changes in your life in short order. This is the value that we provide here at the P.I.L.L Method. The truth about how all of this works. Okay. So next week, I'm going to put this on the screen, everybody. Next week, you want to be here next week because as we're telling 6 the truth, you want to see this. Okay. The mortgage scam exposed, how to use AI to change everything in your life, because though the powers that be keep us confused about money. Oh my gosh, you want to be here next week for that. Don't miss it. Don't miss it next week. All right. So you want to be here next week for this. But today we're breaking through the lies. And I'm glad that 6 was here to work with us. 6, thank you very much for coming to the stage. All right. Go ahead and fill that out so that we can get you the information that you so um, rightly deserve. You deserve to know the truth about how all of this works. Okay. Is there anybody else that wants to come to the stage? Bam, what do you think? What do you think about the information that we're sharing with Six? All right. Can you, if it's any good at all, can you give us a thumbs up, a fire emoji, or so? There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. A thumbs up from Bam. Anybody else? What do you all think about the information that we just gave Six? I need to see it in the comment section. Okay. I need to see what you guys think about that. Ken says, gives fire emojis. There we go. Listen, folks, you have it within you. You have some unique abilities that can create value. And when you put value in the world, do you realize you get value back? You can give value even by sharing other value. You can get value. You can get value back by sharing other value. You can, by sharing these videos on YouTube, by telling others about the P.I.L.L method. Watch these videos. Do you know you're putting value into the world and value comes back to you? The Bible calls it, casting bread upon the waters. It comes back. The value comes back to you. What you sow, you reap. You're putting value. I don't have my own, I haven't discovered my own value yet. But what I have done, I've discovered other value that I can share with people while I'm discovering my own. You have your own value, and we're going to help you to find it so that you can be wealthy. Your wealth is not in your money. Okay? Right now, you need to understand your wealth that's getting ready to be unlocked for you is not in money. Your wealth is in your ability to obtain the knowledge it takes to create value so people will give you money. Listen, if you have the knowledge, I can take all of your money away. I can take it all away. But if you have the knowledge that creates value, people will give you money for the value. They'll give you value for value. That's how we stay in business. Okay? People give us money for the value we provide. Oh my gosh. Once I discovered that, you see, my work, you know that a lot of my friends are retired. My work is so much fun. It doesn't feel like work because I found my purpose in life. I know why I'm here on the planet. I have some unique abilities, some unique insights into how lending actually works, so that when we put our information out there, people say nobody else has the information that you have. Nobody else has that. And because of that, it can get me to where I need to go. All right. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at another one. We're going to put something else on the screen here. I need you to see this. Okay. We're going to put this back on here. Let's take a look at, here's somebody who I've showed this one before. This is an investor, right? They were used to paying out a lot of money in interest because they make so much money. They have $2.2 million in debt. All right. And that debt that they have cost them $14,696 a month to manage. They have a mortgage, two mortgage payments that add up to $696,000. So let me tell you something. $14,696 every single month. That's what they pay out. But these two buildings bring in $57,000 a month. What? Yeah, office buildings. $57,000 a month these buildings bring in. So do you think he cares about the fact that I pay $14,696 a month to manage the debt that brings me in $57,000? Okay. He wasn't thinking about anything else. But then when he read my book, you see, there was a book inside of me that people needed to read to understand that they were not looking at their money correctly. There was a book inside of me. And so when I got the book from inside me, outside me, so other people could read it, then this guy read the book and called me and said, do you know that I want to talk to you about the amount of interest I have been paying? So when he filled out the information to get a savings and earnings report for free. And this is his. He found out that he could save $1,123,000. I'm sorry. I take that back. The bank wanted to charge him $1,123,000 interest on the debt that he has, and he was supposed to pay it for almost 22 years. But he really didn't care before because these buildings were bringing in $57,800 at this point. Now they're going to be bringing in more money in the future. Why? Because rent goes up, not down. Rent goes up, not down. So he's okay there. But when he found out he was paying $1,123,000 to borrow $2.2 million, okay, we showed him how he can pay only $231,000. Do you think that a system like this created value for this entrepreneur, value for this business owner, value for this landlord? Did we create value for him by showing him how he could pay $231,000 to acquire the same asset, which means he's going to save $891,000 in interest he doesn't have to pay. So he gets his property not for $3,359,000. He gets it at $891,000 less. You see, not just the 2.2 million, but the interest was $1,123,000 for a total of $3,359,000. Oh man. He says, when he read the book, that was used to be inside me, and now it's out in the world creating value. You know, as a side, do you know I've given away hundreds, probably just thousands of my books. I sell them on Amazon. All right. It is the most expensive financial book on Amazon right now. All right. And I sell plenty of books on Amazon, but I probably give away just as many books as I sell. Don, why would you give away the book? Because I'm putting value out in the world. And when you put value in the world, it comes back to you. I'm just telling you how it all works. Okay. Bam just put a link in the chat. Okay. BAM has a system that you probably all need to take a look at because it's putting value out in the world. Put value in the world, you get value back. That's what we're talking about today. That's the truth of the matter. So getting back to this gentleman, when by saving $891,000, he signed up to pay. He signed a mortgage contract that said, if you keep our money for 21.9 years, you will pay us $1,123,000 interest on that. But we showed him how to give the bank back their money in such a way that it made it impossible for them to charge him all of that interest. You see, we create value. Once you understand the mechanics of amortization, the mechanics behind how a loan works, you can come up with a program, you can come up with a plan not to give them that money. You can give them back all the money that you borrowed, but when you do it in your way instead of their way, here's what can happen. You can still invest in other properties. What? Yes. You can still go on vacation. What? You can still live well. Oh, you can still drive what you want to drive, because it's not about how do I make more money to pay off the debt. It's about how can I give the bank back their money at a discount in a way that it makes it impossible for them to charge me all the interest that they want, because now he understands the mechanics behind the debt. He got valuable coaching from us along with the technology that does all of the math. You see, you can have that if you're willing to change your mindset, if you're willing to change how you've been taught about money along the way. And so he could be out of debt if he chooses to be. He could be out of debt in 4.9 years. What? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. He could be out of debt in 4.9 years instead of 21.9 years. Or he can take the equity that he's getting much cheaper, do a cash out refi, take that cash and buy more properties as well. Keep using the debt to create more wealth. It's called leverage, ladies and gentlemen. It's called leverage, ladies and gentlemen. It's called leverage. How to use debt to create wealth. Coming up with a program so that you can set up a system in your unique way. And I don't know what that is. I just know that every individual on the planet is unique, and you can offer value to the world, and people will pay you for your value. People pay us for the value we provide, because when you provide value in this way, people don't mind paying you for the value because they get far more value than they ever paid for in money. They're going to pay the money to get far more value. 10-1. What if you knew that everything you bought, you could get, listen, I paid this, but I'm going to get 10 times the value out of it. I'm going to get 10 times more than I paid for it, 15 times more than I paid for it, 20 times more than I paid for it. You see, people say, well, Don, how much did this guy pay? You know, this program where we're going to save him $891,000 is worth $20,000. But wait a minute. He's going to take the money that he didn't pay to the bank, and I need you to see this down here. He's going to turn it into at least another $9 million. What? Take the debt and turn it into wealth. The money he's no longer giving to the bank, he can turn it into another $9 million. You tell me, ladies and gentlemen, is it worth it to him to pay $20,000 for this value when he's going to get such great value out of it, where he wasn't doing that before? Listen, this feels so good to me. He's willing to pay that to get this. Oh my. I'm telling you, create value in the world and people will pay you for it because it's what you want. You want rental income. You want to put a property. You want property with a house with 2 to 4 acres. You want to travel. Here's what you don't want: to pay on debt for the rest of your life. and give your wealth away to someone else, because that's the system they set up. That's what you don't want. Okay. Look at this one. Look at this one. Okay. This one has $188,000 in debt, $73,000 in credit card debt. Okay. $73,000 in credit card debt for a total of $262,000 in debt. And the bank wants, watch this, ladies and gentlemen, the bank wants $349,000. The way that the interest rate and the terms and the conditions that these folks sign up for this debt with, they signed up to pay the bank $349,990 interest on that debt and take 30 years to pay it off. That's what they signed up for. For a total of $612,000. That's the total purchase price, $612,000. Or they can use our system. Okay, here is our offer to them. Here is the value that we're offering to them. You can give the bank $97,000 or less. $97,000 or less. That's saving you $252,000. And in the time you were supposed to pay off this debt, you can take that money that you were supposed to give to the bank and turn it into $1,183,000 using coaching and technology, using the value that we provide so that you can provide value for yourself and others. And this is just where it starts. That's not where it ends, ladies and gentlemen. Because the coaching that they will receive will help them to understand some interesting things about where they need to go. I'm going to take this off the screen right now. Okay. And we're going to take a quick break. All right. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some definite steps that you can take to take yourself out of a poverty mindset and get into a different mindset that says, the wealth that is in the world for me, how can I access it? That's for me. How can I access that wealth? That's for me. We're going to come back and talk to you about that in, I don't know, in just a few minutes, okay? So I need you to pay attention to this right now. How many want to know how to pay off all of your debt in an average of 7 to 9 years? You can do all of this without refinancing, without change to your budget, without sacrificing lifestyle.
Me and my husband do the P.I.L.L method, and last year we were able to pay down $33,000 on our mortgage without feeling like we were poor. We still did tons of entertaining things and enjoyed our family.
You don't have to eat beans and rice every day. You don't have to cut up your credit cards. You don't have to drive a 30-year-old car. You don't have to sell pizzas at night to pay off your mortgage. All you need to do is pay the bank less interest. That's what we're talking about today. Here is what P.I.L.L method stands for: prepayment of principal, isolation of principal amounts, leverage, and liquidity. You understand it? You have a way of getting out of debt more efficiently. The interest rate you're quoted is not the interest rate you pay. You think you're buying a $500,000 home. The true cost of that home is what? $758,000. Total interest paid as a percentage of principal, 51.777%. That's what's going on with this loan. The ability to read and defeat an amortization schedule is not taught at any level of financial education. I need you to understand the power of a penny. You will not hear what I'm talking about from Dave Ramsey. Do you know why? Because I own the copyright. I literally wrote the book.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first thing you need to do. One thing that we're offering, that the value that we're offering is how to turn your debt into wealth. All right. By understanding some things that have been kept from us for years, or we're taught the wrong way about debt for years. And I just put a link in the chat. You can buy my book here. All right. At bam.eco. There's a link there. And I'm going to put it in the online here on YouTube and Facebook. You can get my book at Amazon. You can also get it at bam.eco. Thank you very, very much for that, Bam, on offering that bit of information. Ladies and gentlemen, what else can I tell you today? What else can I tell you that would be valuable to you? That what kind of value can we put into the world? Okay. So you need to take your debt and turn it into wealth. We talked about that. Okay. So here is let's talk about. It says, Rosalind says, I am ready. I need guidance. Rosalind, you can get it. You can get it, but it has to start somewhere so it can finish. And the very start that you want is to go to ice10k.com and get a savings and earnings report. Okay. And let's start there. Go to ice10k.com and get a savings and earnings report. Get it now. Okay. Because pretty soon, folks, we're going to be taking clients that have $500,000 in debt and above. Okay. You'll have to speak to someone else later on because I'm only going to be taking clients at $500,000 in debt and above. All right. We're bringing other people on to help people who have less than $500,000 worth of debt. Okay. Our program is anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000, depending where you are. But don't miss the forest for the trees. Okay. If once you fill out that form and we tell you what we're going to do for you, you'll be able to see whether the fee that is charged, okay, the value that you give over to receive even more value, is it going to be 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, 20 times? What is the value you're going to be able to receive for what you're going to give for it? Oh my goodness. Once you do the math and figure that out, it says, man, I'm getting way more value than what I'm putting out, because right now I'm spending that money on interest. I want to stop. I want to stop. Okay. So I need you all to see this. All right. So right now, some of you, I was talking to Six. She wants rental properties. She wants her own house on 2 to 4 acres. She wants to be able to travel. But you see, what we're told is that to get what you need, this is what you need to do. All right. Watch this. What you want is a house. And what you believe you need is a 30-year mortgage to get it. Well, that's a lie. What you want is a house, then what you also want is a not a lifetime mortgage, but maybe a 7-year mortgage. We'll show you how to take your 30-year mortgage and pay it off in 7. What you want is a house. You just been taught to believe it takes a 30-year commitment to have it. Oh no. All right. I want to live in the thing for 30. I want to live for 30 years. I don't want to be paying for 30 years. That's crazy. You don't have to do that. You do not have to do that. I just came back from Miami and I saw some $200,000 cars when I was in Miami. And do you say in that same area, in that same city, there are $200,000 houses that take 30 years to pay off? That $200,000 car has to be paid off in 7 years or less. So how is it that we can pay off a $200,000 car in 7 years or less, but it takes 30 years to pay off a $200,000 house? Oh my goodness. We're going to show you the truth about that. So what you want is a house. Okay. What you want is a 7-year commitment to buy the house, not 30 years. Okay. What you want is a car. What you want is the car you want. What you don't want is to pay a lot of interest to have it. And let me tell you, folks, there are people out there to say that the best way to do this is to pay cash. Don't ever pay cash for a house or a car. Don't do it. Because you can borrow the money cheaper than paying cash. Once you understand the mechanics, next week, we're going to get deep into the mechanics of how lending works. Once you get into the mechanics, okay, let me put this on the screen for you so you can see this. You need to see this. We're going to talk about the mortgage scam next week. We're going to be exposing how it works, how this whole idea is to keep us confused so we don't understand it. We're going to break down the mechanics of how lending works next week so that you can come up with an idea, so that you can know the ideas of how to borrow money at a discount. Okay? We're going to expose the lies. We're going to break down the inner workings so that you can see the inner workings. I'm going to open up a mortgage. I'm going to lift the hood on the engine of a mortgage, and I'm going to break that thing down in a way that an 8th grader can understand it. That's next week. You don't want to miss next week's show. Oh my gosh. Okay. Mortgage scam exposed. Can I put that picture back up there? Look at that. Mortgage scam exposed. How to do that? Listen, you get P.I.L.L method and our AI system, and we're not only going to give you the technology that guides you to massive wealth using debt, we're going to give you the education you should have received back in 8th grade. Yes, the education about lending that was kept from you since 1936. We're going to be going over all of that next week. We're going to break it down so you can see how it works, what they're doing, and how you can undo it with technology and with knowledge. Oh, here's another one. Here's another one, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. If you want wealth, all right, if you want wealth, let me see how many want wealth. Okay. Put it in the chat. Put a number 9 in the chat if you want wealth. Put a number 9 in the chat if you want wealth. Go ahead. Don't be ashamed. Okay. Put it a number 9 in the chat if you want wealth. I need you to talk to me this morning. All right. Go ahead, Karen. I love it. I see you, Rosalind. I see you, Bam. Okay. You want wealth. You want wealth. I want wealth. Here's what you need to stop doing. All of you that are focused on wealth, many of you, most of you, if not all of you, are focused on money. Money is not wealth. Money is the result of having wealth. What? What does that mean? When you have the wealth of knowledge, when you have the wealth that you need, when you have the wealth of, I know what my unique proposition is. I know the reason why I'm on the planet. I have something of value to offer. When you know what wealth really is, the knowledge that it takes to have wealth come to you, that you draw it like a magnet. You can't help it. Once you start doing things in a certain way, you cannot turn off the money because you have what you need. You have the wealth of knowledge. You have the wealth that God wanted you to have, and you can't turn it off. It just comes to you. You see, if you have, if you have the mindset that talks about in The Science of Getting Rich, you need to get that book, Learning How to Do Things in a Certain Way. Get The Science of Getting Rich. In fact, it's been out so long, you don't even have to buy it. You can search it and find the PDF. Okay. But let me tell you about the mindset of getting things for free. You don't value what you get for free. It's out there. And I pointed this out. The book is out there for free. But pay for it. Go to Amazon, go wherever you have to go and pay for the book. You need to sow in order to reap. You need to put some money out there. You need to take your treasure. Okay. What was that? Benjamin Franklin said, he says, if I empty my purse into my mind will fill my purse. If I empty my purse into my mind will fill my purse. That's what you need to do. So all of this information that you've been getting from us for the last 3 years, do you realize? It says, look what Ken is putting down there. What did you say, Ken? Down, I want wealth, but more importantly, I want some worth. Ooh. He says, I want worth. He wants to be worth something so that people will pay him for his worth. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Can you get an amen for what Ken just wrote? When you are worth it, people will give you the wealth. They will give it to you. They will give you money for the value that you provide. Stop focusing on money if you want wealth. Focus on your worth to society.
Don, I got a question for you.
Come on, brother. Bring me your question.
Are you at a point in life where people are introducing you?
Yes, I am. Yes,
you know your worth. Boy, you know your worth.
You see, things are so. See, here's the thing I want to talk to you all about right now. For me, when I used to speak, I would speak for free. All right. And then there was a time when I would actually pay to get on platforms so that I can share what I have to share. But now people pay me. And I say, okay, now what is it that you want? Here's what I want to come speak for you. I want this. And listen, I got a whole sheet. I got the whole 2 sheets. Here's the contract. Here's what I need when I get there. Here's what I want. And here's what I want as far as my pay is concerned. Okay. Guess what? I'm going to soon grow out of that. Whatever it costs it right now. It costs a certain amount to have me come speak, but pretty soon, I'm going to grow out of that, and I can only speak to people who want to pay this much money, and then this much money. You see, I have to. Once I start growing, once I get to a certain point, I can't stay there. I have to grow in knowledge. I have to grow in the worth that I'm giving to the public. And as I grow, guess what? It's worth more. Okay? Raza says, okay, know your worth, know what you're worth, and don't settle for anything less. People who settle for less need to make money. It's not about need. It's about what I want. And when I tell you what I want, if I don't get it, that's okay. That's okay. It's not for you. Then that's okay. Those who want what I have will pay what I want. There you go. That's how that works. So listen, here's another one. Here's another one for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another one for you. The lie is you need to take what they have. Here it is. Let me put it back on the screen. Here's the lie. The lie is you need to take what they have. They have wealth. The lie is you need to take it from them. That is not what you need. No, 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 no. The lie is learn how to have wealth come to you. If you think you need to take wealth from the wealthy, that means you believe that wealth is finite. Wealth is not finite. Listen, wealth is infinite because your creativity creates wealth. What you bring to the world, what you give to the world, wealth comes out of creation. Wealth comes out of what you are giving. You are creating more to get wealth.
So Don, you telling me that the Robin Hood method is not the way, taken from somebody to give to somebody else?
No, that's need. That's the whole idea of need. That whole story is around need.
And we looked up. See, that's why I'm glad for people like you to just set the plane straight, make it plain, make it plain.
Come on, man. That's what we're talking about. That whole story is based around need. We don't need it. We want it. And when I want something, what do I have to do to get it? I have to become what it is that I'm looking for. So I need to stop focusing on money. I need to stop saying I need to take what they have to get what I want. We live in abundance. I live in abundance. I live there. That's where I live. That's my address. Abundance is my address. And when I give to people like I give to you, do you know people call us weekly after this show? They contact us, they fill out the form, ice10k.com. And pretty soon, listen, so many people are calling now. So many people are calling. Pretty soon, I have to stop doing the show. You see, I have to go away so that you can get more. What, Don, you've got the knowledge. You're giving us the knowledge. I have to go away so you can get more. How is that? Because somebody else will be sitting in my chair teaching this so that I can concentrate on building bigger value for you, because I need to give some things up so that you all can have more. I need to give up control of the chair so that you all can have more. Ooh, somebody okay, Rochelle, I see you. All right. Abundance Avenue. That's what Rochelle said. I live. That's my address, Abundance Avenue. You better believe it. You better believe it, because that's what we're talking about today. Okay. And and next week, we're going to be talking about the mechanics. Oh my. Oh, when I get down, listen, I'm going to break this thing all the way down to some minutia. So Don, if you give away all of this information, aren't you giving away your business? Oh no. Listen, if I don't give away basic understanding of what we do, people cannot use it to combat the lie that they've been told. The lie that you've been told is keeping you in debt forever. You need to know the mechanics about this and know that we're going to take those mechanics and plug it into a computer so that you can do better. We're plugging it all into a computer. You can't beat a computer in figuring all this out, but you do need to understand the basics so that you can stop doing what you've always been doing, because what you've been doing, the truth, Lord have mercy, the truth of the matter is so far removed from the lie. It is so different from the lie that it is hard for people to migrate from the lie that they've been told their entire lives and start practicing the truth. You see, we have been given something that sounds like truth. We've been given something that appears to be truth because it's slightly different from the lie. We can accept something that's slightly different. All right. But when it's way different, I'm going to listen. What's way different is I talk to people all the time that think the way to handle a mortgage is to get a 15-year mortgage. And I'm going to tell you that no, you never need to get a 15-year mortgage. Don't ever do it. I talked to a couple that's getting ready to put a very large sum of money as a down payment on a loan. And I'm getting ready to tell them, no, you don't need to put a very large down payment on the loan. You need the entire loan. And I'm going to show you how you may not need to use any of the money that you had planned to use as a down payment. You may be able to invest all of that money into your future and still pay off your new mortgage in 7 to 9 years. Lord have mercy. What? Yes. When you understand the mechanics of this, you will understand that there's a better way of doing something. So don't forget to get that book. All right. Don't forget to get that book. The Science of Getting Rich. Learning how you need to think. All right. You need to do things in a certain way. Okay. Get things in a certain way. Get things in a certain, do things in a certain way, and you can't help but become rich because you do not have to take away from somebody else for you to become rich in money because you have the wealth of knowledge that draws it to you like a magnet. You don't need more money. What you need is the wealth of knowledge. Okay.
See, Don, you got me over here. Is this a term? Debt woke. You know how they have woke for everything else. You got me over here. Debt woke.
Okay, brother. All right.
And so what you were saying previously that it's a little truth in every lie, but no lie in the truth.
Come on. There it is. There's a little truth in a lie, but there's absolutely no lie in the truth. I love that one too. I love it. Okay.
And then before you get too far, just say John down there. John don't have no debt, but he know that Steve got debt. How can they help want each other with you?
Listen, when John doesn't have debt, but he knows Steve has debt, do you know that you are putting, do you realize that you are putting positive energy? You are putting something positive into the world. Lisa Martinez, I see you watching me on YouTube. She says, hi, thank you. She says, there are people that need you. Listen, when somebody wants to introduce something to somebody else, as you could do something like this. I need to share this YouTube channel with you, the P.I.L.L Method YouTube channel. Okay. And if they say, well, I don't have time to watch an hour or 2 hour video. So we have people on our staff that take these shows and divide it up into 10-minute, 5-minute, 7 minutes, 3-minute chunks. Oh yeah. Divide it up for you and give it to you in ways that make it valuable to you. And you can listen to it on the way to work. But folks, it's not just about getting the information. Do you know how many people said, listen, I've been listening to you for years. I've been listening to you for years. All right. And they have debt, but they've never filled out a free to get a savings and earnings report that's free. Listen, they can have one of these. Let me put it back on the screen. Everybody listening to me can have one of these, and it's free. Okay, it's free.
But Don, you know, we in an era with words, right? And it's some of us that think we too wealthy for free stuff. So next time, just offer them a complimentary. wealthy folks, they like complimentary better than the word free.
Okay. We'll change it, my brother. We'll change it to complimentary. Okay. This is complimentary. All right. But it is a doorway. It is a doorway to get a consultation with us. Okay. You can find out the month, day, and year you could be debt free. Okay. All right. Hold on for a second. Somebody's texting me. All right. And hold on for a second. I am live on YouTube right now. Okay, search P.I.L.L method. There you go. All right. All right, that's my friend. That's my friend reaching out to me. Listen, I want him to get part of this. Okay, so Lisa, and listen, it is so good to see you again. Let's talk soon. I believe you have my number. Okay, I believe you have it. So let's talk. Let's see how we can help John help somebody else by sharing this information. You know, I don't need that. John doesn't even have to know how all of this works. They just need to know that I'm offering it. All right, Ken, and they can turn their friend onto the videos so that their friend can benefit. Okay, that's what we're talking about. They can say, listen, do you know how many people that have referred our program to others, but they don't have debt, but they've referred our program to others, and now those people have become clients? Do you think that the person who offered that, Ken, who pointed them in the right direction, do you think they were putting value into the world? What do you think, Ken?
You said the person that shares that information,
Yeah,
of course.
Of course.
Because throughout history, word of mouth been the most transparent way for us to communicate and advertise. So if I know that I saved, or if I know that my cousin needs to save, and I can tell him, well, listen to this, and if it moves you, then I can put you in a person that can make this happen for you.
Yeah.
And I just get a couple dollars just for that.
Mm.
It's a gift that keeps on giving.
So not only that,
I think you're making this too religious of because you got my spirit moving. 'Cause everything that you're doing, I can translate it to a scripture. Just like Bam do. It's hey, they say acknowledge him in everything you do. So
come on.
and you make it too easy. You make it where you can see where it fits. So that's all
Man,
I'm gonna say.
listen. All right, Lisa, I see you. Thank you, Ken. Lisa says over here on YouTube that she's going to reach out. Okay, she's got people that she needs to help. Okay, and we have information. Listen, folks, I need you to see this because I need you to come back here next week. Let me put this back on the screen. Come back next week because we're going to be talking about the mechanics that are behind the mortgage scam. We're going to expose it. We're going to expose the scam next week. And the scam is they're not lying to you to steal from you. Okay? They're not stealing from you. The scam is you never understood how the program actually was supposed to work in your favor. That's the scam. And we're going to break that down for you next week. You need to know how all of it works so that you can learn how to borrow money cheaper so that you can have what you need, you can have what you want to have what you want to have, but have it cheaper. This is the way to get it done. How can I borrow money at a discount? How can I have more but pay less for it so I can also invest in my future? We're going to break that whole thing down for you to show you exactly how lending works. And when you know how it works, you can make it work for you. And once you know how it works, you'll find this out. And you can tell Dave Ramsey I said it. Borrowing money the right way is cheaper than paying cash. Oh, yeah. Borrowing money the right way is cheaper than paying cash. You know how I know? Because of every bank that's downtown in your city, the largest buildings downtown, they're borrowing your money and they're turning it into wealth. Well, we can do the same thing. You just need to know how. And we're going to coach you along the way. Valuable coaching and technology is going to get you there. All right, let's put up another example. Okay, I need you to see this one. This one is a crazy example. And this person was drowning. They thought they were drowning. But when our staff sees this, we get a big old smile on our face because we see where this can go. When we see it differently because we know how to read it. This person was taught to read it the wrong way, so it made him feel bad. We have to go in and say, look at it this way so that you can feel good about what you have. And here it is. 2 mortgages, $634,000 in debt. 3 other loans, $197,000 in additional debt. And 12 credit cards for a total of $201,000 in credit card debt altogether. Who has $200,000 in credit card debt and they felt as if they were drowning? And we showed them by them filling this out and we giving it back to them. Watch this. They're supposed to pay $692,000 in interest on that, taking that debt from, okay, they have $1,033,000 in debt. $1,033,000 in debt. And the bank wanted an additional $692,000 from them. Now, they're the high net worth individuals, okay? And it was going to take them 36 years to pay it all off. We showed them how they can pay $179,000 instead. Okay. Pay everything off in 9 years, saving them 27 years. How much interest are we saving them? Over $500,000 in interest, $512,000 in interest saved. $512,000. Why? Because they got new information. We're providing value. We're providing value to them. Okay. Okay. And the value that we're providing is going to save them $512,000 in interest they don't have to pay. And it's going to save them 27 years that they don't have to spend in debt. They could be out of debt in 9 years if they wanted to, and take that money instead of giving it to the bank and making them wealthy, giving them money so that they can invest to make more wealth. They can take the money that they were supposed to give to the bank and turn it into over $4 million for themselves. Now, let me tell you one last thing that makes this thing so valuable. Let me tell you one thing that makes this thing so valuable is this. We guarantee these results. There are a lot of programs out there that make big promises. They make huge promises, but they do not deliver. They just don't. When you become a P.I.L.L Method client and we give you this, we give you a savings report and we tell you that that your savings report is supposed to go a certain way. All right. Let me tell you something. We put it in writing that you will get these results or you don't have to pay. And do we give you that guarantee for 1 year, for 2 years, for 5 years, for 10 years? No, it is a lifetime guarantee. So when you pay off this mortgage, we have to guarantee the next mortgage too. And the next one, and the next one. Well, Don, do we have to keep paying for the program for that? Nope. You pay for it once. one time. That's it. A one-time fee for life, because we give you the ability to replace the mortgage after mortgage after mortgage after mortgage. You get a username and password, and you can log into this for as long as you live. And when one mortgage is paid off, you can plug in another one. And for this particular program, you can start out with putting 3 mortgages at one time. 3 mortgages at one time. But you can replace them any number of times. When you put in the new mortgage and you work with our client support team and put that new mortgage in, it's put in correctly. Once you read how it's supposed to be paid off, if you follow all of our directions and it doesn't pay off the way that we say, even 10 years from now, we have to give you your money back because the program is broken. That's what I love about computers. Garbage in, garbage out. You put the right information in, I can guarantee this thing for life. Okay? You will do well on our program, or we will not put you in the program. That's it. Do you know we actually turn people down? That's why you can't go to our website and purchase. Every single new client has to be vetted for us. We're not selling the program. We're buying new clients. Listen, I'm offering this to the clients. And when we bring them in, we're buying their success. We're not selling, we're buying. We're not selling, we are buying. And when I'm buying, I can say no. When I'm buying, I can say, not right now, maybe later. Okay? This is not for you right now. But let's see how we can get you in a position so that I can buy your success later. Let me see how we can put you in a position for that. But we're not in a position where we're selling anymore, ladies and gentlemen. We're buying. I need you to understand this right now. So please get all of this right now. If I can do this for people, says Don, well, what do you mean? How do you do this? How is it in the world can you do this? It's because we've been in business for 19 years. We've been in business for 19 years, and I'm going to give you something right now. When you are giving to the world, okay? When you're giving to the world, here's what you can do for the world. And while I'm pulling this up, somebody's probably asking, well, how come we're not seeing you on TV? How come you're not worldwide? Okay. And I'm watching CNBC. Okay. I'm watching CNBC because I like the financial news. All right. And they're talking about billionaires I've never even heard of. Billionaires I've never even heard of, and the companies they own. I need you to do a search today. Stop asking me where I've been. Stop asking me, Don, why is it that we've never heard of you? I need you to go out and search how many billionaires there are in the United States and their companies. And you tell me if you've ever heard of their company, but they are billionaires because of their company. I need you to go research that today. And then when you see that, you say, oh man, I didn't know there were so many billionaires. I didn't know there were so many companies out there that make their owners and the people that work for them multi-millionaires, and then some are billionaires because of it. And I've never even heard of them. Yeah, that part. Okay, so don't ask me.
See, Don, I'm gonna have to jump because you're making my spirit jump because it's a verse that pertains to what you're saying, and we ain't gonna make this about religion.
Come on, brother. But listen, speak the truth.
Seek and you shall find. The question should have been, Don, I should have been looking for you all my life. It should have been a statement, not a question.
Oh man. That is so true. That is so true, because I have had people tell me that. And sometimes it brings joy to my heart. But there are other times when it brings sadness. And I'm gonna tell you the two. I'll tell you the difference between the two. Okay. While I'm bringing this up. Okay. I'm bringing up P.I.L.L method, Better Business Bureau. Okay. I'm bringing that up. People come to us and tell us all the time, I've been praying for something just like this, and they saw our video. I've been praying for this. And as they're praying for it, then this information comes to them. When they get the information, it's different from what they thought it was going to be. I'm telling you, folks, when you're in a situation you want to change, but if you can conceive of the way for it to change, then you don't need anything else. If you can conceive of it, I'm telling you, it's not good enough. If you can think of it on your own, if you're in a situation that you want to get out of, and if you believe you can think of the way to get out on your own, I'm telling you, it's not working. When you are looking for something, there's a saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And sometimes people call us and they'll say, oh, I thought it was something else. Can you do this for me? We immediately say, we're not for you. Because when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. The student will say, I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm reading a book, okay, called 10X is better than 2X. And one of the stories in there that says that the guy, he coaches, high level entrepreneurs. And he says that when you have a program that's $500 to $1,000, okay, $500 to $1,000, people come with all sorts of expectations from you. And they say, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. Okay. He says his $50,000 clients email him and said, money's paid. That's it. His $50,000 clients just say, listen, the money's paid. No demands. He said the $50,000 clients are easier to work with than the $500 to $1,000 clients. This is why he doesn't have them anymore. Are you hearing me today? Okay. Here's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I've got the P.I.L.L Method International Better Business Bureau on the screen. Here's our address. Okay. Here's some videos. We've been in business for over 18 years. There it is. Okay. And we can look here and say, okay, we're A+ rated. Okay. We are A+ rated. And let me click on the link here that says complaints. Okay. Once you get a complaint on Better Business Bureau, it never goes away. It cannot go away. It's there forever. Let me click on this. Look here. How many complaints do we have? This business has 0 complaints. If that's too hard for you to read, let me see if I can blow this up a little bit for you. This business has 0 complaints in 18 years. There are a lot of good businesses out there. I've stayed in hotels that have plenty of complaints, but they resolve their complaints. Just because you get a complaint doesn't make it a bad business. But we don't have any complaints. Do you know people ask us more questions than they ask the mortgage company that made them sign all of these papers without them reading it so that they can overpay their mortgage by 2 times? They ask us more questions than they asked when they were signing up for that information, for that loan. and we're going to save them $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, they ask us more questions. At that point, we have to tell them, this is not for you. Boy, oh boy. Look at that. 0 complaints. Okay? That's what I love. That's what I love about what we do. When you're offering value, ladies and gentlemen, when you offer value, there's nothing to complain about. You all on the stage, you all have a certain value to offer. I need you to find out what that is. Read a book, go to a class, go to a seminar, invest in yourself. When you want to become a millionaire or a billionaire, when you want wealth, you're definitely going to have to change. Who you are now is not the person you're going to be when you become wealthy. You have to become a new person, a different person. Okay? Okay? Old things pass away, Ken. All things become new.
They become new. Yes, they do. But I got a question though, Don.
Come on, brother.
Because you keep talking about all these people that got that. Now, what if I'm about to get into some debt? Can I utilize you? And hold on, before you answer that, what if I got a client that's about to get into some debt? Or do we already got to have debt?
No. If you're thinking about getting into debt, you want to get into it the right way. Everything you need to know about debt, you need to have an advocate on your side of the table. You need somebody that's going to be working with you. You do not want to learn about how debt works from the person that's selling you debt. You don't want to learn it from them. You absolutely do not want to learn how debt works from the person that's selling you the debt. Learn how it works from us prior to you getting the debt. Because getting the loan the right way is going to set you up properly. We're going to get into that next week. How to get the proper loan. The higher interest rates actually work better than the lower interest rates. We're going to get into the mechanics of that next week. Okay. Never buy down the rate. Don't do that. You don't need a lower interest rate. You need to pay less interest. And we're going to show you how to pay less interest, even with a higher interest rate. And there may be times when they offer you a lower interest rate, and working with us, we're going to show you by asking for a higher interest rate, put you in a better position. Do you want to see that next week? Oh, you listen.
Yeah, we do.
You listen, you don't want to miss that. I'm going to put that back on the screen. The mortgage scam exposed. We're going to expose all of that. Every single bit. Listen, every single lie we have a time to go over. Every good thing you ever thought about lending or borrowing, forget about it. It's all a lie. We're going to tell you the truth. Everything that you've ever, listen, have you ever heard of an interest-only mortgage? Have you ever heard of an interest-only mortgage and how bad they are? Oh, no. An interest-only mortgage where you pay interest only is the very best mortgage to have, bar none, far and away. And I'll prove it to you next week because we're going to learn. We're going to learn the mechanics of how the amortization formula actually works. And when you understand the mechanics, you see, and I needed to understand mechanics when I was younger. You know, my father was not around to tell me when I got my first new car. My father was not around to tell me, you need to change the oil in the car. The oil needs to be changed. I did not know. I didn't know the mechanics. I didn't know the simple mechanics of how to maintain my first new car. You know, I burned up the engine in that car. I didn't know and I didn't understand for a long time after that. The reason why the engine burned up is because there was not a drop of oil in the car. I didn't put oil in it. I didn't change the oil. I just put gas in it and I just drove. I'm telling you. Listen, how old was I? 19, 20 years old. I don't know, something like that. But I didn't know. I didn't know the simple mechanics of how it works. We have not been taught the mechanics how loans work. Therefore, we are using them incorrectly. So when you're using them incorrectly, you're going to get information from others about how all of this works. You're going to get information from others that may seem to be the right thing to do, but it is exactly the wrong thing to do. Practically everything you've learned to do about lending, we're going to be teaching you the opposite next week. Don't miss this show next week. All right? But in the meantime, don't sleep on this. Make sure that you are getting your savings and earnings report as soon as you can. We're getting ready to take another break. I got to get a drink of water here. Take one more break, and then we're going to tie things off today, and we're going to be saying goodbye until next week. But in the meantime, don't sleep on it. Get your savings and earnings report. Go to ice10k.com. Let me put a banner on the screen right now. Go to ice10k.com and get a savings and earnings report. There's your banner on the screen so that you can see it, okay? But let's take a little break and I'll be back.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.
That was Eric Thomas, the #1 motivational speaker in the entire world. He can command up to $150,000 an hour just to speak to corporations. And he used the P.I.L.L method. When he could have paid for his house cash, he used the P.I.L.L method to learn how to borrow money at a discount. And he invests his cash into other things and paid off all of his debt early. He uses debt the right way. You see, when you borrow money, we can show you how to borrow money at an effective interest rate of 1% or less. You can borrow money at an effective interest rate at 1% or less. Does that mean the interest rate you get from the bank is going to be 1%? No. If you get a mortgage today, it's going to be right around 7% or more. But by the time we get through with it, but by the time you get the coaching you need, you will be able to do the math and say, oh, this is how much interest we're supposed to pay. And then when the math is done, that will give you the effective interest rate. It may be 7%, but we're going to treat it like it's 0.67%, less than 1%. If you can borrow money that cheaply, what are you ever doing? Taking your money out of an investment to buy anything. Don't do it. Don't follow the crowd. Do something different. You want to be wealthy? Learn how the system actually works. Then take your unique proposition, learn how to develop something of service that helps other people, and people will pay you what you are worth. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I'm living it right now. So, folks, I want to thank you all for being here with me today. Don't miss out on this, let me put it on the screen. Okay. That's our 0 complaints with Better Business Bureau. And we're also going to put on the screen here ice10k.com. Okay. ice10k.com. And when you go there, okay, coming up on the screen now. And we have some of these videos here. We have about 4 videos for you to watch. All right. But you can scroll down underneath the video here and it says get a savings and earnings report. Click on that button. When you click on that button, it says don't waste another dollar paying off the wrong debt. Get your savings report now. Fill this out, your basic contact information, and click on yes, I want to save, and then put in your financial information. Once you put in your financial information, one of our staff will give you a call, confirm the financial information, and then you can get a savings and earnings report. If you want to know more, they will set up a consultation. The consultation is only $150. And if the information does not help you, then if you say, listen, this wasn't worth $150, we just give it back because you weren't ready. We'll give it back if it's not worth the time we spent with you. Okay, in all the years we've been doing that, only one person has asked for that money back. Just spending the time and the amount of information you're going to learn is worth more than the $150 we're charging. Oh my gosh, I love doing what we do. So let's get going. And if you see value in what we're offering, then we'll tell you what your investment is going to be. But more than that, we're going to show you what your return on your investment is going to be. And we will guarantee those results in writing. You can't beat that with a stick. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. We've been here for a total of 1 hour and 57 minutes. And I'm going to be here for about 3 minutes longer to see if there are any other questions in here. I see Ken's Lending Network. All right. He's got Apple Podcasts in here. Check that out. Bam has a link in here.
That's Jonathan Bing's podcast.
That's Jonathan Bing's podcast. Okay. And then Bam has a link in here. All right. Go to his website. Bam, thank you for being here today. Reggie says, if you fail to invest in yourself financially, then whose responsibility does it fall on when your economic value does not rise? Thank you very much. So Reggie Farrell has a, looks like a website, reggiefarrell.com. Thank you very much, Reggie, for being here. All right. Bams has put another link in here, Forbes.com, real-time billionaires. Thank you. He says, how many black billionaires in the world? Around 20. How many billionaires around the world? Around 3,000. And I know you haven't heard of them. But there are about 20 black billionaires. Why is that? Shouldn't there be more? Oh my goodness. Shouldn't there be more? I think there should be more. All right. So thank you very much, everybody, for being here with us. I'm not seeing any other questions. All right. Didn't see any other questions, but I do see where people need have made positive comments about who you are. You need
Karen just dropped something in the chat, Don.
Who did?
Karen is in the chat.
Okay, Karen says I have a no interest mortgage, but I have student loan. And listen, Karen, whatever you have, okay, whatever you have, let us work with you. Let us show you some things. And even if you said that, even if we have to tell you, you're going to learn more just by watching our videos. But we'll still give you some information you can use, whether you become a client of ours or not. Okay. So you do have to have a certain threshold of debt for this to really matter for you. But once if you've reached that threshold, we can definitely help you. All right. So Karen, go ahead. Okay. Says, okay, I sent a report. Look at you, Karen. Not wasted any time whatsoever. All right. That's what we're talking about today. Thank you very much, Karen, for that. All right. It says, Roslyn says, I don't have a lot of debt. Okay. Well, whatever you're working on. But see, some people don't have a lot of debt, but they want certain things and borrowing money. So some people don't have a house right now, but they'd like one. So the borrowing money is going to be the best way to get it. Oh yeah, never pay cash for a house. Okay. So I've got people who are right now filling out their savings and earnings report. Get your savings and earnings report. Find out. Okay. Find out. Go to ice10k.com. All right. Click on the link that says get a savings and earnings report. All right. It looks like this when you click on that. Okay. And you'll see Eric Thomas there. Scroll down, get your savings and earnings report. Click on that. Boom. Our form comes up. Fill out the form. All right, folks. I'm going to see you next week. But just before I go, I need you to see this one more time. Let's put it on the screen. Okay. Mortgage scam exposed. The mortgage scam is not the lies. They're not stealing from you. The mortgage scam is they're just not teaching you how the system works. And the information that they're giving you is faulty. They're not teaching you how the system works. So the information that they give you sounds plausible. It sounds good. But I guarantee you it's not good. Once you understand the mechanics, we're going to break it down. I mean, in minute parts next week. Once we break it down, you'll be able to see that this program, the P.I.L.L Method program, is the most powerful program on the planet that teaches you how money works and how to borrow money at a discount and how to use debt to create wealth. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Thank you very much for showing up today. We're going to, we'll see you next week. Let me take this off the screen. All
Don,
right.
before you go, do you got any events coming up where somebody can catch you live in the flesh?
Not right now. Okay, no events coming up right now. We just got back from Miami. That was a successful trip, and the trip before that. Oh, I'm working out something where I may be going to Detroit. So stay tuned for that.
See,
Okay.
now that's close to me. That's closer to me.
Where are you?
I'm in South Bend, Indiana, home of Notre Dame.
Okay,
But I'm
okay.
from Chicago, but I'm from Chicago.
You're okay. Okay. Good. Do you know I used to live in Niles?
Oh, that's right upstairs.
Yes, right.
Right.
Okay. Listen, my house was right off of 11. We drive right down 11 for about 5-10 minutes, and we're right at Notre Dame.
100%.
Come on now.
Right up 30, right up 31, 11 to 31.
There you go,
933. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm from the area. I know it well. Listen, folks, thank you again for being here. Can I count on you for next week? Can I count on all of you to get your
I'll be there. Jackson.
Can I count on you to get your savings and earnings report done? Finally, all right, and tell others about this. And one last thing on ice10k.com. If you want to share this information with others, you can become an affiliate, and we will pay you. We will pay you to share this information. Just take them to the YouTube channel. Have them watch the videos for a couple of days, and then call them back. If they want more information, just give us a call, and we'll show you how. We'll tell you how you can get paid just for helping people. Okay. It says, PR says, I'm in Detroit. When? They haven't given me a date yet. We haven't worked out the date yet. PR. I don't know, but we're supposed to be coming to Detroit probably in May. All right. Sometime in May or June. So we're going to get that worked out. We're still working on it. I just can't tell you just when, but be here next week. Maybe I'll have some more information on that. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here today. Get more information. Be here next week. Get that savings and earnings report done today. All right. We're out, folks. We'll see you next week.